Ever felt stuck in life? Confused, frustrated, searching for the right words? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll give you powerful English phrases that make your speech natural and your stories unforgettable. This is Open English Podcast, and I'm Saurabh. Welcome to the very first episode of Open English Podcast. I'm really excited to be here with you today. You know, when I was planning this episode, I kept asking myself, what's the number one challenge for people learning English? Is it grammar rules? Is it vocabulary lists? Or is it pronunciation drills? Well, the truth is, those are all important. But what really makes English sound natural is the way we describe real-life situations. Think about it. When you talk to a native speaker, they don't just say, "I am confused." They might say, "I'm in a muddle," or "I'm torn between two options." That's the magic of real English. The phrases that carry emotion, attitude, and culture. And that's what this podcast is all about. Teaching you English that you can actually use in daily life. English that makes you sound clear, confident, and real. Let me start with a story. A few years ago, I had two very different job offers. One was from a multinational company in a shiny office, high salary, great benefits. The other was from a startup. Less money, but exciting projects, creative freedom, and young energy. Guess what? I was completely in a muddle. My brain was like a messy desk with papers scattered everywhere. I couldn't decide. My family kept saying, "Go for the big salary." My friends were like, "No, you'll be bored there. Take the exciting job." I remember sitting in my room late at night, staring at the ceiling, literally facing a dilemma. Both doors looked good, but I couldn't walk through both. And honestly, I felt like I was stuck in a tight corner. No matter what I chose, I was afraid I'd regret it. Now let me ask you, have you ever been in a situation like that? Two choices, both important, both scary? That's exactly why today's episode is special, because I'll give you real English expressions to describe those confusing, stressful, and sometimes even funny life situations. So, first phrase, in a muddle. Repeat after me. In a muddle. Good. What does it mean? It means confused, disorganized, not sure what's happening. Example, I'm in a muddle with my schedule this week. I don't know which meeting is when. Notice something. Native speakers don't always say, "I am confused." They like these colorful phrases because they sound more natural. And if you use them, people will think, "Wow, this person speaks real English."
Here's a quick practice for you. Think of one area in your life that feels disorganized. Maybe your room, your files, your mind. Now say, "I'm in a muddle with..." Fill in the blank. Go on, say it out loud. Trust me, it helps. All right, next phrase, facing a dilemma. Or sometimes you'll hear being faced with a dilemma. Both are correct. A dilemma is when you have two choices and neither is perfect. If you pick one, you lose the other. For example, I was facing a dilemma. Should I study abroad or stay with my family at home? Let me give you another one. She's faced with a dilemma. Continue her safe job or start her own business. See? Dilemmas happen all the time, big or small. Even something silly like, I'm facing a dilemma. Should I order pizza or sushi tonight? Yeah, that's real life. Practice time. Think of a recent situation where you had two choices. Say it out loud with me. I was facing a dilemma, and finish the sentence. Next, we have in a tight corner. Picture this. You're playing football, and you're literally in the corner with no space to move. That's exactly the feeling. It means trapped, pressured, stuck. Example, when my laptop crashed just before my presentation, I was in a tight corner. Another one, he borrowed too much money and now he's in a tight corner financially. Notice how vivid this phrase is. It creates an image in the listener's mind. That's why people love it. Your turn. Say, I was in a tight corner when, and finish it with your own story. Maybe exams, maybe deadlines, maybe relationships. Make it real. Sometimes English is not about new words, it's about intensity. For example, mildly irritating versus intensely annoying. Imagine your neighbor playing music a little too loud. It's mildly irritating. But imagine construction work outside your window at 6 a.m. That's intensely annoying. Here's the trick. Add adverbs to change intensity. Mildly, slightly, deeply, extremely. Practice with me. I was mildly irritated when the bus was late. Now stronger. I was intensely annoyed when my phone battery died during an important call.
Okay, next phrase, take a back seat. This means step back, let others lead, don't control everything. Example, I decided to take a back seat in the project so my colleague could lead. Another, parents often take a back seat when their kids grow older and make their own choices. Why is this useful? Because sometimes in life you just can't or shouldn't be the driver. Taking a back seat can reduce stress and give others responsibility. Try it. Say, I took a back seat when, and complete it. This one's beautiful. See the light at the end of the tunnel. It means hope after difficulty. Imagine you've been studying for months, working late nights, and finally exams are over. You feel relief, hope. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. Example, after months of job hunting, I finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Say it with me. I see the light at the end of the tunnel when... Go ahead, finish it with your own experience. Next phrase, come to a dead end. It means a plan or effort fails, there's no way forward. Example, our research came to a dead end, so we had to change direction. Another, the police investigation came to a dead end without new evidence. It's a strong phrase. You can almost picture a road suddenly blocked. Practice. My plan came to a dead end when... Fill it in. And finally for today, get to the bottom of things. It means find the real cause, investigate deeply. Example, we need to get to the bottom of why sales dropped last month. Another, the teacher tried to get to the bottom of the argument between students. It's about clarity. Don't just accept the surface, dig deeper. Practice. I want to get to the bottom of... Say it. Mean it. All right, let's pause here. In this episode, we learned some powerful phrases. In a muddle, facing a dilemma. In a tight corner, mildly irritating, intensely annoying. Take a back seat.
see the light at the end of the tunnel, come to a dead end, and get to the bottom of things. That's a lot. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize everything at once. Just pick 2 or 3 and use them this week in real conversations. Trust me, the more you use them, the more natural they'll become. Let's start with a story. A couple of years ago, I was traveling to Bangkok for a short work trip. Everything was fine until I reached the airport and realized I had left my passport at home. Yes, you heard me right. I was already at the check-in counter with my suitcase and no passport. At that moment, I felt completely all over the place. My brain was racing. Should I go back home? Should I call someone to bring it? Would I miss my flight? This is a perfect situation for our first phrase today. All over the place means disorganized, scattered, mentally or physically confused. Example, my thoughts are all over the place today. I can't focus on anything. Another one, his desk is all over the place. Papers, books, cups, everything everywhere. So next time you feel scattered, don't just say, I am confused. Say, I'm all over the place. It sounds more natural, more real. Practice with me. Think of yesterday. Was there a moment your mind was messy? Say, I was all over the place when, and finish the sentence. Now let's add another very common phrase, at the end of the day. This doesn't mean literally at night. It means when everything is considered, or after all. Example, at the end of the day, health is more important than money. Another, at the end of the day, it's your decision. This phrase helps you summarize. It makes you sound reflective, balanced, and wise. Practice. Complete this sentence. At the end of the day, I believe, and say your own truth. Here's a phrase I love. Hit the nail on the head. It means say exactly the right thing. Describe something perfectly. Example, when she said I was stressed because of overwork, she hit the nail on the head. Another, your explanation hit the nail on the head. It was clear and correct. Notice how it creates a strong picture. You literally imagine hammering the nail perfectly.
Okay, let's play a little challenge. I'll tell you half a story, and you finish it in your head using today's idioms. Ready? Here we go. I was on the fence about starting a new project. My plans were up in the air, and I knew if it failed, I'd be back to square one. But then my team put our heads together and decided to hit the ground running. We burned the midnight oil, and finally, now it's your turn. How would you finish that story? Try to use at least 2 more idioms we learned today. All right, let's take a deep breath and recap everything we've learned across all 3 parts of episode 1. From part 1, in a muddle, facing a dilemma, in a tight corner, mildly irritating, intensely annoying, take a back seat, see the light at the end of the tunnel, come to a dead end, get to the bottom of things. From part 2, all over the place, at the end of the day, hit the nail on the head, bite the bullet, breathe a sigh of relief, on the same page, go the extra mile, throw in the towel, under the weather. And from part 3 today, put our heads together, burn the midnight oil, up in the air, on the fence, back to square one, break the ice, hit the ground running, throw cold water on, keep your chin up. That's nearly 30 high-value idioms and phrases. Imagine adding these to your daily English. You'll sound natural, confident, and engaging. But here's the truth. Listening alone is not enough. You must practice. Say the phrases out loud. Record yourself. Use them in real conversations, even if it feels strange at first. Language is like exercise. You build strength by repetition. And don't be afraid of mistakes. Remember, mistakes are not the end. They're just part of the journey. Every time you practice, you're one step closer to fluency. Keep your chin up and keep going. This brings us to the end of episode 1 of Open English Podcast. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you learned, laughed, and practiced. If you enjoyed today's lesson, share it with a friend who's learning English. And remember, at the end of the day, progress comes from small, consistent steps. I'm Saurabh, and this was Open English Podcast. Until next time, stay confident, keep learning, and see the light at the end of your tunnel. Bye.